For those of you running Facebook ads for your junk removal business or looking into doing so, I wanted to put together a quick video to talk about a discussion I had with one of our clients in regards to some ads he was running for himself and something that you might be dealing with as well. So with Facebook, we primarily a few years ago focused on lead form, and it worked pretty well. We were getting good results, and the leads that were coming in, we were getting pretty good data. Now, even back then, I noticed that some of the lead form submissions were inaccurate. So we would have, a wrong name. Usually we'd have a wrong phone number, which is a key part of the form submission, right? If we have a bad phone number, then we can't get a hold of who we want to get a hold of. And I felt like that trend continued even more into about a year and a half ago, to the point now where it is very rare that we will use lead form submissions on Facebook unless we set up our own qualified lead forms. And the biggest issue I feel is a lot of the information on Facebook is outdated. So most of the people that fit your customer base is usually going to be older women or an older demographic in general. And they are not usually the most tech savvy. So that means that there's a chance that they probably submitted their information maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago on the Facebook platform and never updated it. And they have the autofill feature on Facebook to where Facebook's going to take the information that they have for you already and put it into that form when they submit it. So that means if that information is outdated, that's the information that you're going to get, and they may not realize it when they submit that form because it's going to autofill that form for them. The autofill feature is great for simplicity. In reality, if you're thinking about it, it's a great tool. Downside is if that information is not accurate and they're not the ones who are directly inputting it, that's where the problem is. So my client that I was speaking to, he had got, 19 or 20 leads and had a really good lead cost, but none of them converted. He wasn't getting anybody to pick up the phone. There was no communication. He wasn't able to get anything out of them. And from what I've seen, and I wasn't running the campaign for him at this time, but from what I've seen in the past and what I told him was that most likely this was due to the fact that the submissions and the details and the information you got were probably inaccurate for the most part. Not all of them, but a good bit of them. So beware of this if you're running your own ads. The solution around this, there's a couple of different things that you can do. You can build out a landing page. That way you're the one building out, that form submission yourself, ensuring that they're inputting the data. Keep in mind with that route, you're going to have a better quality of leads, but a higher cost per lead in most cases, unless you have a really, really good landing page. But typically, even with a really good landing page, you are still going to have a rise in costs because you're adding an additional step for the customer. All right. So that's the upside and the downside. You could also do Messenger, right? To where they can literally just message the page. The downside to this is that if you don't have a quick way for you to communicate and get back with them, you're probably going to lose out on the opportunity. Also, you're not getting their information right away. So they might start the conversation and then completely disappear, which this will happen for Messenger ads. All right. The upside is usually the cost. Typically with Messenger, you can get a lower cost because your ask from the customer to start the conversation is a lot more minimal than say, hey, please provide me all of your information or give us a call. All right. Messenger ads can definitely work. You want to have a process in place to where you are quick in your responses. That way you can get the information you need on the platform, their phone number, where they're located, and then dive into the conversation with them. Ask them, do you mind if I could give you a call? Or you can completely go through your full process on Messenger, depending on what you prefer. I like to get their information and I prefer to get on the phone as quickly as possible, but I'll leave that open-ended to you guys. And then lastly, you could do a more detailed lead form on Facebook. I will warn you though, they don't really like this. We've found some ways around where we can do the form without the autofill, but I have heard of cases where Facebook pulls the ad or does some things because they would prefer you not to do that. They want you to use what they have set up. So there's a couple of workarounds, but all in all, keep that in mind if you're running into this issue or if you do in the future. Chances are the autofill feature is turned on. That is where you're running into problems because it's most likely pulling old data in the form of submissions. There could be bots as well. I know, there's been mentions of that too, where it's like maybe a bot filled out that information. I haven't seen a whole lot of that, especially when we've set up qualified forms. So to give you a difference, for auto form, we had seen, sometimes it could be as low as 30 to 40% of accurate information. Either we're getting landlines or just getting wrong phone numbers, compared to detailed, where we were at about 85 to 90%. It's a pretty significant difference, right? So you'll want to find what works best for you when it comes to that, and possibly split test a couple different things to see what the costs are. But just keep that in mind. If you are running lead form with the autofill, you may run into that issue. You may be currently running into that issue, and that is why, because typically that information is outdated. So I hope this helps any of you guys who are currently running Facebook ads or maybe looking to do so. If you have any questions on it, drop them in the comments. As always, appreciate you guys for watching, and stay tuned. I've got some other stuff coming up soon. Want to get another interview out for you guys within the next couple weeks, and just like this, videos that can help you grow your Jungle Removal business. Thanks.